baby. Baby Zudes.
Oh,
Howdy.
we all right there?
It's
Well,
good.
What's up, my Zudes?
Hey.
See, I said it.
Yes.
All right. Hell yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Ladies
go.
and gentlemen, it is ZUDECAST number 96. It is a very special episode. Just when you thought Halloween was over, it had one last surprise, man. I was able to get the one and only Skinner to appear via the power of the internet on the ZUDECAST. Woo! Yeah, give it up.
I'm fucking
Man.
so hyped, actually.
A real one, bro. You just, man, the fact that you're cool enough to come hang out with us via Zoom, man. What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, and I am. We are equals. We're Sacramentans through and through. We are. So of course I have time to be with my 916. I hope it's still the 916.
It is.
Yeah.
My broiled 109 degree broilers out here.
Yes, indeed. The air fried individuals.
Yeah.
It would be so hot out there sometimes that it felt like a psychedelic situation. Like when you're outside and it's so hot and the heat waves are coming up off the street. And you're like, it's very dry. And you're like, whoa, this is weird. Like, this is so weird, and like you do feel like you're on drugs.
You start to feel like the whole sunlight go all the way through you, and then like you feel your brain start getting like boiled, like a hard-boiled egg a bit.
You ever had an acid flashback at 110?
Oof.
No.
Can't say I have.
Dear me. No, but like the heat though, like after, I don't know, like couple months of it, in the summertime, if it's like a specific, like a very hot summertime, and you're like, dude, what the hell? And you just like go to the river, it's all cold, you try to jump in and everything, and there's just not, it's like weird because it's a little bit like Phoenix type heat, but it's very dry. It's like, it's a million times better than like Florida or something, where if it's like 80 degrees, you want to yourself or whatever. But like, I don't know, I do like riding my bike out there with the heat waves and the rattlesnakes and shit.
Hell yeah, man.
Do you ever ride your bike? Sorry, I'll get to something interesting soon. But
no,
we got the bike rides on.
you're riding your bike.
We caught that tail end of the bike riding generation, I think.
Yeah.
we got some skinned knees,
Yeah.
Well, but those like paths by the river, and then they go behind the river, and there's all these like weird sketchy people out there.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say. I used to ride my bike over by like Sac State and that whole kind of water part area by like Power and Skate Park over there too. So I used to like ride my bike up and down there back when I lived over there, and I know exactly what you're talking about with the mysterious people in there.
I only found out about this later. I was just riding my bike in the Hood Franklin area my entire life.
Oh, true.
Dude, when I moved to downtown Sacramento in 1997, none of you were born probably at all.
I think we all were. We're little
tykes.
Little
tiny. Cool. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
But we were, downtown Sacramento was like very kind of sketchy as well, actually. Like, it really changed over the years, but it was like weird, tweaker dudes with doing like pipes, like battling each other.
It
was like kind of insane. Like, I remember the first time I rode my bike downtown, I was like, dude, this is so cool. Like, the grid is awesome. It's like I'm riding my bike, and I asked this guy, like, "Hey man, what time is it?" He's all, "Hey man, you better get away from me before I beat the shit out of you." I'm like, "Okay," like I just was like, "Ah, God, I gotta get back home." But like but you really quickly learn that they're, it's like, oh, here's some nice restaurants, and then all of a sudden, around the corner is like a creepy, weird railroad, like hangout place where like weirdos are in the shadows.
On a live alley.
Yeah, definitely.
But SAC was cool. So it was like very raw. And I remember when Burning Man started getting really popular, and there was like Burning Man parties out there, and there's this big gallery, the Gallery Horse Cow, and you can go there. I would go there because I knew that sometimes as bohemian Burning Man people would sometimes be having sex and stuff. And there was a in the gallery, there was a upper floor where it was made out of plexiglass, and people would go up there and be like boning and stuff. And it was like with rave music and shit.
You get those,
like rave. And I mean, I'm not into raves. I don't really. I mean, it's fine. I love it. But I would just go in there, be drinking beers, and kind of like look up, you know.
What? So you're telling me the view was like look up and you'd see the
exactly up above you. You could go there and look at and see some insertion and stuff. Like
that's crazy.
I was like, this is crazy, you know. But it was, it was fucking awesome, man. It was very raw. There was a lot of art galleries in SAC actually, and there was like, I mean, that's you know.
Did you? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you happen to know Gail Hart out here? Gail Hart, did you know her?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I used to go skate at like her gallery when I was a little kid that had the little mini ramp at it, and her show, like showing all the old school 80s boards, was like one of the first things that like got me into like seeing art and stuff out here. So
that rule. Gail Hart's awesome. Yeah, she was like always trying to get people into skateboarding and all kinds of shit. Yeah, we did some paintings together. I lived next door to her years ago on V Street, 19th and V Street. But
wow, that's crazy.
But but like Sacramento, so that was like because there was always sort of like graffiti. You know, the thing that's interesting about Sacramento is like the greatest skateboarders in the world come from Sacramento. Some of the like popular bands, you know, are from Sac. They're like even like Death Grips. And
we saw them.
Yeah.
Death Grips and Chelsea Wolf, Deftones, anything Chino's doing, fucking that band Cake. I don't know if anybody knows that band.
I love I love Cake.
No, it's funny. When I went to Sac City, the professor for the recording techniques class, like he mixed Cake's albums.
Shit.
So it's Cake is classic,
like,
man.
back in my day, we mixed Cake albums.
Yeah.
There was a band called Tesla that was really popular in the 80s. They kind of sucked though. They didn't have any.
Yeah,
they had one hit that was like a cover song or something. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely kind of butt rock.
Yeah, it was butt rock. Dude. They put us on. Hey, you know what was funny, man? Let me tell you. I hope this is okay that I'm just sort of saying this shit because I never get to talk to anybody. So when I was in high school, I used to go to this gothic industrial club called the Amazon, and it was like really cool because I lived in Auburn, right? So I would go down to the Amazon and fucking goth out down there, and there was a little tiny weird like bar, like Roadhouse bar across the street from it called the Shire. It was called the Shire, and I remember one time I was asking someone, I was like, you ever hear about this place called the Shire? And they were like, dude, that's where Tesla would play a lot, and they kind of got popular at the Shire. And I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome, man. Was it Shire or Shire Road or some shit? I don't know. Anyway,
it comes back to Lord of the Rings in the end.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Sac's kind of that size though, where it's like the layers of like degrees of separation are like kind of small because it's not a huge city. So it's like, someone who knows someone who knows like your homie. And like, I feel like it was probably like that for a long time too. And I feel like it continues to be that way even now. Cause it's like, even when I first met like Josh over here, it's like, we already knew a ton of similar people because just it's such a small town. And I don't know.
And at the end of the day, there's not that many people out really doing the thing. Like if you're out really doing something like music or like whatever art, there's just a handful of people in pretty much any town. I'm sure it's the same in the Bay Area and Oakland or whatever, where it's just like, oh, it's such a big city, but you still see the same dozen people everywhere you go.
It's true. I mean, there's a lot of people who fancy themselves to be a certain thing too, but then not a lot of people are like constantly or consistently putting forth the action to do it.
Yeah,
you know? So
definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're saying they want to do something, but you have to just do it.
Yeah.
I think that's like, having a like you could be in a small town or a big city or whatever, but fostering a community and making it, I don't know, like a lot of people it's like people don't know they want to be an artist really or do something creative until they're in a position where somebody's telling them that it's possible and they're kind of showing them. And so, in Sacramento, I remember I would have these open art nights at my art studio where like just anybody could come and paint and hang out and draw and stuff. But like you could see that people were like, wow, I really want to do art and do this. And like, this is really awesome. But, Sacramento didn't have it had one gallery that you could get into if you were kind of doing weird art. It was called the Toy Room Art Gallery in Sacramento. I don't know if that was before your guys' time, but that's where like they were like showing a bunch of juxtapose artists and stuff like that. But like, other than that, it's like you're kind of like hanging your art at one of your homies' coffee shop or something. Right. And that's fine, but it's not. I mean, back when I was in Sac, like, sure, I would just do a million paintings all the time, and like might as well just put them up in one of my friends' skateboard shops or doing this or something, like try to sell some or whatever. But yeah, it was, I mean, just having like a drink and draw art night is fun. It's like, like, I don't know if you guys have that in Sac somewhere, maybe at
there's a
bars.
lot more stuff that's been popping up. Like, again, a lot more smaller movements that are, just hosting kind of open things and trying to go out of their way to show off local people more. So there's definitely a lot more like smaller scenes, I feel like, that are starting to pop up.
Yeah.
And
well, especially for music too. There's a lot of like jam sessions and stuff that are, are good friends of ours, run different jam sessions and stuff over at like at the Torch Club. And then our producer Josh also runs like a freestyle rap session that they do like once a month or every few weeks or so.
The Torch Club.
Yeah, man. Dude, the Torch Club is like, that's my spot. I've played like probably more shows there than anywhere else. And it's
I remember because it used to be kind of like a jazz club, right?
It still like kind of is. It has like a very like jazzy, bluesy, like sort of dive bar energy to it. But yeah, I just
and you guys just have a big ass jam session there.
Now it's every Sunday. This band, Lab Rats, they do all sorts of like crazy, like they're very like on some crazy jazz fusion shit, but with like a bunch of hip hop elements into it. So now it's like every weekend, every Sunday. It's cool. Like you said, there's more people who want to do it, but haven't had an avenue to do that. Now they can just hop in. It's not like going to like a hoity-toity jam session where it's like, all right, fellas, let's call this tune. And then, not quite my tempo. It's more like, all right, everybody get up. We're just going to be vibing in E minor for a little bit, and dude, people get up and sing and rap and do all that kind of stuff. And it's like someone will be rapping one verse of one song and then someone else is like playing the instrumental of a different song. And it's like, dude, you're getting like a live mashup thing. So it's like it's like a pretty cool thing for the scene. Yeah, there's a bunch of
we
different
need
spots
that,
like that.
Sacramento.
Yeah,
freestyle. So there's some freestyle rappers. Can any of you guys freestyle rap? Rap about Dungeons and Dragons or something right now.
Oh man. Oh my god.
Does anybody rap?
I actually had a dungeon.
You got a headband on. I feel like that's a rapping.
Yeah.
That's like
Grody slides the
all he
Freestyle
wanted was a
Fridays,
Pepsi.
and he raps at Freestyle Fridays, raps his ass off. Hell yeah!
You said rap about Dungeons and Dragons. I actually had like a here a little bit. It was like a fantasy song we were trying to make, and like the verse, I'm like. It's like when I get summoned, here I come. I show no mercy, then I level up. I bend the hanger like I'm Odin son. Man, you already know that I'm going dumb, cause there's rival rappers and whack MCs that don't stand a chance in that PvP. Your boy big rapping straight from the soul. I pack and snap the entire bowl. Key member, man, I'm in control. Damage in the metaphysical like a ring wraith. Yeah, Nazgul, if you step up, you get smacked, fool. Oh, hey, your boy King Grody Sama, strapped up with the Uji Katana, wrecking fools up in Valhalla. I'm the leader that you wanna follow, the rapping Capra demon, man. I'm rhyming and I'm scheming, and I've been to fantasy places you would never believe. Camelot, Avalon, I'm the one to rule them all, bitch. I got pills, eating fungus, going on that line, okay? Drink the brew and I feel enchanted. Burn the herb until my eyes are slanted. Intoxication to my advantage. Spit freestyle, straight verbal magic. And your boys feeling 16-bit. Only off about 16 hits. Psychedelic's what I embellish. What's my name? How do you spell it? They preach the hate, I say whatever. I'm on my own endeavor. When it comes to rap, I know I'm fucking clever.
Wow, there was lots of references. That was cool.
Yeah, that was
dude, rapping is crazy. It's cool that you could just do that, like not be like shy and stuff, because I feel like that's the hardest part about performing is just doing it and owning it. Just being like, yep, I'm rapping right now. That's what's happening, and just being okay.
It's not a
it.
bit.
Like,
I definitely just had to snap it on. I was like, okay, and go. But
I did a birthday rap for my roommate.
Oh yeah.
It's very short. I'll rap it for you. Ready? It's not really a good rap though.
Let's
It
go.
goes, Mark the Shark. His name is Mark, right? Mark the Shark. He's smoking crack in the park. He's smoking PCP, naked, jerking off in the dark. I said, Mark. And then it lit up a spark. And then he looked at me flipping crazy, freaking called me a narc. I said, no, I'll never tell on you, bro. I'll suck your dick for $5, though. No one will know. And then he said, why are you here? I said, I left the freaking house to get a 12-pack of beer. And then I saw you. I saw you jump in the bushes. I saw you spreading your legs. I saw you fiddling with your balls. Looked like you were laying some eggs. And then I knew you'd be my number one dude. And then I jumped in the bushes, and then I cracked open brews. That's it.
That was glorious, bro. We're gonna throw a beat under that, bro.
I just wanted to talk. I always wanted to. Well, he's very shy and he doesn't like the song that much. He's too nice to say he doesn't like it.
He's like, the part where you compare my balls to eggs, I wasn't sure about that. That's so funny.
Dude,
so he's a real mellow guy though. He's not smoking PCP in the dark.
Yeah. No, well, no, that's the part about the song that's funny, is that he's maybe the least PCP smokingest person I've ever met in my life. So, yeah.
By the way, I think someone here described your art as Dungeons and Dragons on PCP. Did someone say that earlier? I felt like...
Yeah, that's what I do.
That sounds about accurate, dude.
No, definitely, man. Man, dude.
Just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to everybody tuning into the show.
Yeah, everybody tuning into the chat. We got lots of chats, bro. We got...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I think I got Worms saying Skid Man. We got Princess Pippi saying what's good. Corey Aguilar, Shanty Camps and Bicycles Are Life. And then is Mark's still broken? Oh, is
Mark's arm still broken?
Oh, is his arm still broken?
No, it's fine. It's all better now.
That's good.
But you know what? He didn't. It's like, but he never really worked it out, so it looks like a hella little baby skeleton arm, dude.
Oh man. Yeah, can't. Doesn't set right. Just,
Should I tell him like, hey, I could text him. He's here. I could be like, hey man, these motherfuckers want to see your little skeleton arm, dude.
Oh my god.
That's the bonus. That's the bonus. But yeah, no. So dude, that's like Sacramento's where I started. Like the whole art thing, man. I just I had art shows at the Toy Room Art Gallery, and they would like, you know, they were kind of like my friend John Soldano owned it. It was at his house, and his partner Craig. But John really believed in me and encouraged me, and he would drive me down to San Francisco to try to introduce me to the juxtaposed people and everything. I mean, that's kind of part of the trip too, is that like, you know, San Francisco is really close. Well, it also has the Juxtapose and Thrasher headquarters is down there.
yes, indeed.
So like, you know, like at that time, there wasn't like a whole lot of like Instagram, Facebook type shit. This was before that, right? This is like MySpace days, you know? And so you literally have to drive somewhere, you know what I mean? And we did. And then, yeah, I just started to kind of, I don't know, try to get out of Sacramento and do shows in San Francisco and Portland and Austin and, you know, all over New York or, you know, out of this city.
That's what you gotta do, man. I will say Sacramento is good. Like it's a decent place to live if you are a musician or an artist, because you're like a day trip away from most places that you would want to play a gig at. Like with my band, we do like a lot of like Bay Area stuff, like SoCal stuff or whatever. We just like went up through Portland and Seattle, just did kind of like a couple of weeks in the Pacific Northwest. And it's like, it's cool to be in sort of a central location where it's like you could hit a Tahoe gig or an SF gig in a day and just, you know, drive back and forth. Like, and it's definitely
a little baby tour.
Yeah, man. That's the life, man. We took a couple of weeks off the ZUDECAST, or well, I guess just 1 week. Yeah. But yeah, it's a blast.
Do they still have the band shows and stuff at the Crest Theater?
Yeah, my brother works at the Crest Theater. He actually does like the audio and stuff too. And so they play there's a lot of
oh, sorry.
There we go. Happens. There's a lot of concerts there, and then you just went to a comedy show there.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, they do a lot of comedy shows, but there's bands and stuff there all the time too. I just saw Tony.
What comedy did you see at the Crest?
I saw Tony Hinchcliffe on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know who's from Sacramento is Brian Posehn.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
Remember? I don't know if you guys know
him.
I don't think I know him personally.
He's like that bit. He's like, oh man, he's like on fucking Sarah Silverman show back in the day.
Does he have orange hair?
He's like a super like big giant nerd guy.
I know.
He said something like, I look like I'm made of farts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always think of that.
He does look like he's made of farts.
He does, dude.
Just back to me.
Pull up Brian Posehn,
He's
dude.
sweet though. But yeah,
the multi.
Bro's made of farts for sure.
Yeah, but you know, Sacramento, we got things are looking good.
Guy.
We got I mean, back when I was there, fucking the year that the referee like made it so that the Lakers beat the Kings.
Ooh.
That one year, 2003, I think. It was a very heartbreaking year for the city of Sacramento.
Right.
I remember we went to that random. Oh, sorry, we're having dropouts, but it happened. Check.
Did it come in?
Oh,
your shit's broken, bro. It's busted. Now I'm taking over this show.
Do it.
We'll be right back.
Somebody fix his shit. Anyways, I'm going to talk about Lakers right now. I hate the Lakers. So the Kings, dude, we were crushing it. Doug Christie, Chris Webber, fucking who was it? Mike Bibby?
Yeah.
Bobby Jackson, dude. We were crushing so hard. But anyways, it's all right. Things do happen, but I saw Papa Roach at the Crest Theater before they got famous. I would see they would play in Sacramento all the time. Papa Roach.
Nice,
Did it cut your life into pieces?
No, but it was heavy, dude. In 1997, when I moved down to Sacramento, it was heavy new metal times.
Yeah.
Major new metal times.
So what
dude.
years did you live here again? 97 to
97 to 2007, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe more, maybe a little more, maybe 2012 or something.
Dude, that's so
Yeah.
funny, man, because like that's like when we were growing up, like in like third grade is when the Kings were cut my audio into pieces. This is my last resort. Fucking hell.
Wait, what's going on? The audio's
I don't know, dude.
We're fucking out, dog.
Give me 2 seconds.
I think Bobby's computer's on fire.
It is. It's having a real crisis right now.
Dude, this is okay. We're getting back on track. All right. Do you have any questions? Do you got any questions, or else I'm just gonna keep talking about Sacramento?
So you're from Auburn originally?
Yes, that's where I grew up, and then moved down to Sacramento in 1997.
Right. Did you go like hiking or camping a lot up there, like since you're so close to the mountains?
Kinda, not too much, not really. I mean, yeah, sort of like when I was like Boy Scouts and shit, be like, take me camping, do like snow camp. We did snow camp. It was miserable. Sucked.
Yeah.
We're freezing.
How long do you do Boy Scouts for? Did you get Eagle Scout?
Well, I was first I was a Cub Scout. Okay. I was a Cub Scout
Hell yeah.
first. And then it was cool. It was to get into astrology and stuff. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So then we went to I went to Boy Scouts until I think I was like 13, 14, maybe 14. God, was it really 14? I mean, after a while, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
this is
I did that too, and then I was like, oh, this is a little bit light on the camping trips and like heavy on just like tying knots and shit. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, the tying the knots thing was hard for me, but I would try, you know. I know how to tie 1 or 2 knots, but
Yeah.
they got real complicated, and I was like, what is all this shit? I just want to go camping and just sneak some chewing tobacco and then get sick. That's it.
I just want to shoot a bow and
2
arrow and
minutes.
have a
All right.
mouthful of chew.
All right. No audio for just a second. We're gonna try to work things out. Feel
We're
free to
working
talk.
it. Are we back or no? Yes, I can. App was so fire that it melted the microphone.
That's right.
You were too fire, doggy.
Oh, thanks,
man.
man. Appreciate it. Tried on that
Yeah.
one.
You said the Lich, the Nazgul Lich. You said something like that, right? That was good.
What did I say? I said like a ring wraith. Yeah, Nazgul. If you stepped up, you get
Yep.
smacked full.
Yeah, that's it.
Back to the
Yeah.
Shire.
I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, of course, too. I'm a big, very fantasy inspired kid. I read a lot of books growing up, and that's why I like your art so much too, because it's just like the ultimate, like most ham metal music video, comic book / like fantasy book kind of vibes. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Did you see Beastmaster yet? Have you guys seen that movie Beastmaster?
No, I don't think so yet. No.
Oh my god, dude, that's awesome. You guys get to watch Beastmaster. Dude, you guys gotta watch it.
It sounds
You gotta
vaguely
watch it.
familiar.
Oh, it looks metal. Hell yeah.
You guys gotta watch that movie together.
Can we pull that up?
All
Yeah,
four
pull
of
it
you
up.
next to each other on the couch,
Okay, there we
Sitting.
go.
shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, looking.
Bro's got a fucking, what was that, a falcon, dude?
This looks like
Yeah, he's a friend to animals.
Oh, sick.
Okay.
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, he has two little marmots. He has a Black Panther tiger thing, a bird, and yeah, they're like ferrets or something.
A jacked Steve Irwin.
This reminds me of that kind of like that the Jack Kirby comic, what's it called? God damn it, why can't I remember?
Commandy,
Yeah.
the last boy on earth.
Yeah, it's got kind of a similar vibe, or like Fire and Ice, Frank Facetta, you know, I know you
Sure.
know that.
I like it. Yep, Fire and Ice, baby. That was Ralph Bakshi made that film. I guess Frank Frazetta like pulled a knife on Ralph Bakshi during the making of that film, because Ralph Bakshi is like a legendary scam ripoff guy.
I heard he was
And
lazy. Or not
Oh,
lazy.
really? Yeah, he probably was. But I mean, if you look at that movie Wizards, it's basically the whole aesthetic and all the art and the cartoon characters are like extremely ripped off from Von Bode. I think Bode, maybe that's it. So the guy that did Cheech Wizard. And so, anyways, I'm just throwing out all this random bullshit.
Well,
But
no, yeah, that's
Yeah, that's hella
so
interesting.
back
That
to
was the
the
original.
Boy Scouts. So there we were in the forest eating tobacco.
Oh no, you're good though. Tell us more about freaking Ralph Bakshi. Give us the lowdown, because yeah, we got
oh yeah, I
well,
see
right
what
here.
you're saying, dude. This is like straight ripped.
Yeah, it's fully. I mean, that's the thing, is that he kind of. I mean, what he did was really cool, where it was like independent kind of. I mean, you had Disney and Warner Brothers and stuff like that, Filmation. Well, probably not even at that time, but what Ralph Bakshi was doing was like totally independent, drugged out underground comics type shit, political stuff. Wizards
Right.
is like a political film. And he was just doing a lot of interesting stuff, and also just it mirrored a lot of like what underground comics were talking about too, like drugs, racism,
Too,
fucking.
like, he did like Fritz the Cat, and then
Yeah.
Robert Crumb was he had the comic running for a long time, and yeah, so that's cool.
Mhm.
He was able to dab some of those, but yeah, I heard he would just like try to like undercut a lot of the process too, and it led to a ton of problems.
Yeah, he was always undercutting stuff and pulling his scams and shit, whatever. But I don't know. It was like he did a lot of cool stuff. I mean, that movie Heavy Metal was probably, stuff like that got made because of people like Ralph Bakshi or something, probably. But like the movie, the magazine itself was really cool back then. That's what I tried to kind of do with the High on Fire video, was sort of do like a newer, like heavy metal vibe type thing.
Definitely got
but
that
was-
vibe.
Yeah.
That
I
was
saying
mostly the. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if they do like a new heavy metal movie, you should definitely get get a segment in there.
I mean, that would be cool, you know, but but the reason that the cartoon, the music video looks that good and is awesome is because of the people I worked with. Hey Beautiful Jerk. They do like all kinds of stuff now for, you know, they've done a bunch of Netflix stuff, shit for Cardi B and Rihanna, and like, you know, they helped me with the Mastodon music video. They're the only reason that anything that I've done is as good as it is, honestly. But they just finished like a year ago or so as a music video that was Ozzy and Lemmy, Hellraiser.
Yeah. It's like animated, right?
Yeah, they did that, and then now I think that it's like kind of secret, but they're maybe working on another Aussie animated thing. I'm not sure. We'll see, but
nice.
Anyways, they're amazing, and they're the reason that's that good. But I wish there was more. I guess there's like a new cartoon that just came out on HBO Max that's like super weird, kind of like fantasy anime style, but really cool. Shit, I can find out what it is. Hold on one second. But Titmouse is making it, and Chris Pernosky, the owner of Titmouse, is like a legendary. Okay, here we go. Scavenger's Reign. So if he, you know, he was like really like, dude, this new thing is insane. I love it so much. So if he's saying that, I know it's really good because he's like, all of his taste of everything is so good, you know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I want to do more cartoons and animations and stuff. Like I've been working with my friend Ricky Matthews. He's been animating this 3D like super insane fantasy short. It has monsters and wizards and all kinds of crazy shit, and it's awesome. So he crushed it. Like it looks insane. It's so nuts. It has fishmen and it's crazy. And so we're working on that and finish that. But it would be cool to do like, you know, that animation. Have you guys seen that movie Creep Show 2?
Long time ago, but yeah.
Well, in between the different little vignettes of like horror stories and stuff on Creepshow 2, there's like an animation in between, and it's like a little boy, and he's getting picked on by other little kids, and so he orders some fucking Venus flytraps, you know, through the mail, and they come, and then they get really big, and then they eat the kids that are bullying him and stuff. But the animation style is so cool. It's like it's very expressive, and I feel like there's something about new animation where it's very kind of like a person talking to a person, and then there's action or whatever.
Right.
But older, weird, more independent type animation is very like, it's like moving weird, and the faces are, and it's like, it kind of is eerie to me. And so I would love to do stuff that's more in that, like, I don't know, like vintage,
like rotoscope kind of, like,
like maybe even like not even that good of animation, like kind of like made by some weird people that live in a basement instead of like a studio of trained professionals. You know?
Dude, that's like, I love when it's not even that good, when it's like, I was just watching the first episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
I just got super high, and then I was like, oh no, it was the second episode with like the underwater, it's like the guy in the big diving suit, he's all green, and then there's like a frame where like, because they're all wearing like these you know, underwater like scuba diving kits or whatever, and there's just like a second where like Shaggy's hair is the wrong color, like it has Fred's hair color, but on Shaggy's body, and I was like, y'all are fucking this up on like episode 2 right now, but it's so classic. I love Hanna-Barbera. It's super weird and janky. Like it's funny because like the level of animation quality on a lot of shit has sort of devolved in a lot of ways. Because like you go back and watch like OG, just Tom and Jerry. It's like that shit is so meticulously crafted
It's pristine,
compared to like like Scooby Doo was like first in like '69 or whatever, and it's like it's a lower budge situation.
And Hanna-Barbera got like kind of flack too, because even then that's kind of what they were doing with like the cells, where you could reuse the different cells. That was kind of almost considered the kind of like rigging of their time, like how you said everybody's on like just moving their arms a little bit and like in a room just not doing very much, and then they might animate a different sequence a little more intensely, but that's kind of that for that time, the Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera is like, to me, was the ugliest cartoons ever. I hated them. I hated them so much. I loved like deeply rich painted backgrounds like Warner Brothers had with, when Bugs Bunny would, or sometimes like they would do something where it would be like a Thanksgiving themed animation, like, and it's like these like Native American people like canoeing down a river or something, and it's just all lush and beautiful and oranges and like leaves falling and stuff. Like, or that would be like Little Hiawatha's Adventures, and it's like he's out, whatever. But like, if you watch things like sometimes like the intros to cartoons are like way better than the actual cartoon, like the animation style. Have you seen that cartoon called Thundar the Barbarian? You have to watch the beginning. Thundar the Barbarian, a comet goes past the moon in the future, and it destroys the moon a little bit, and it pulls gravity off the moon. And then the world has like massive, it's an apocalypse, like massive, like the land is breaking, and now all of a sudden there's like storms of water and everything's ruined, and then the planet has like monsters and evil wizards and shit now, and it's like it's this barbarian dude, and he has like a girl, Ukla the Mock, that's his name, Ukla, the like Chewbacca style sidekick dude. But anyway, so if you watch the beginning of that anime, like the very beginning of the cartoon, the intro, it has so many cool, like cooler drawings and weirder style animation that they don't use in the cartoon. But like, I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. What did you say?
Ran out of.
Yes, they run out of budget. But the intro to like, Thundercats or some shit, it's like the beginning rules, and then like the inside, and it's fine. It was fine, but I like that cartoon Inhumanoids. Do you ever see that?
I don't.
The reason Inhumanoids is good is because there's a lot of screaming in it. It's always like the creatures are screaming a lot. So that was my favorite.
Oh,
I can't hear my voice. We're going to take a break and we're going to play the Inhumanoids theme song. Can you play it? Crank it for me, dude. You guys have fully, your microphones have fully blown their loads, bro. Dude, hell yes.
Okay.
YouTube.
Are we back?
Let's
God
see.
has cursed us all.
Check.
Yeah.
God has blessed us all.
Yeah. Once
God
again,
has blessed us, and the algorithm has blessed us with some fresh microphones. So.
I know.
They don't want us
Cut my audio into pieces. That was awesome.
I know.
I
I just had to wait for a second for the audio to not be cutting out. I was like, please let me just make this one little joke.
You saved the show.
Hell yeah. Bobby's shaving the show right here.
The
Round
show
of
must
applause
go
for
on. I'm
Bobby.
like,
Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, bear with us here, folks. This is our first interplanetary episode where we're talking with the Galactic Federation and shit.
Yeah.
It is insane. Shout out to satellites. Shout out to the internet. Shout out to technology for keeping us going. Dude,
shout out to technology and technological advances in the hands of idiots in the world.
Yeah, I know, because now dumb guys like us get to use Instagram.
Bobby, that's a cool shirt you got on though. Can we get a look at that shirt?
Yeah.
Damn, Bobby, that's swagoo. Look at this dude.
The patterns are so complex. It must have been at least $1,200.
Bobby, you look like a slam poet. You look like
damn, that's crazy. I used to write some poetry back in the day.
Yeah, dude, that's
not
cool.
So much anymore.
I like it.
Yeah,
back
in the days when I wanted to start a metal band, I was like, these could be lyrics for a band. That
Oh, you were gonna start, dude. That's cool. What was your band? Who are you influenced by?
I'm big into like Coheed and Cambria. They're probably my longest term band. Yeah, really.
They weave many tales.
Yeah, and the fact that there's this whole canon comic book that goes along with it that you can choose to, engage in. You don't really have to enjoy the music. I think is a wonderful thing. So.
That's awesome.
They always really struck with me. I think it was their second album was like one of the first albums I ever bought. So,
yeah.
Oh wow, cool. I love.
We were
that.
all kind of metalheads growing up too, like to various extent. Like, it's weird because I'm like I play like mostly like funk and soul and jazz and all that kind of stuff now, but like growing up, dude, it was just like all like hella thrash metal and like. A lot of Mastodon and stuff like that too. That was like one of the more like first metal bands that I found out that wasn't like from my dad's CD collection. Like it's funny because you were talking. It was funny because you were talking about the like new metal and like the Kings, and I was like, damn, that just brought me back to like a very specific era of like my childhood of just like.
Wait, so your dad? What was your dad's CDs?
Oh, dude, it was like he had a bunch of the new metal stuff because I mean it was a lot of like classic rock, and then like my dad got in trouble for like showing me Iron Maiden or whatever.
And then you showed me Iron Maiden too. So it was like you influenced me, bro.
Yeah, that was like the first edgy thing.
I would love to go through your dad's CD collection.
I think he's long sold them, but like I can rattle off a lot of what he had. Well, because my dad actually like played drums for a long time, and then I was born, and then life goes on.
You crushed his new metal dreams, dude.
No, because like he still plays like for fun and stuff, but he was playing with like a couple of bands like back in the day, like I guess like because he broke his ankle like right around like right before I was born, and like so he couldn't play drums for a long time because of that. But he was like hanging out with, I think he like, I don't know. He, you know how dads like to talk. They're like, yeah, I knew like the guys from Tesla or whatever. Anybody. He played with, allegedly played with Oleander also back in the day.
Yeah. Oleander had a hit. Yeah, that didn't surprise me.
Yeah,
that sounds possible.
Yeah. Right. I was like, you didn't overstretch. You didn't like try to say you play with someone else. You're like Oleander. I was like, okay, I believe that. I was like, sure.
Oh god,
dude,
like
there was an awesome music scene in Sac. Like I remember it was sort of popping, man. There was bands that like I don't know, it was thriving. And you know what? There was a place called the Cattle Club. Are you familiar with that?
That's another place that my dad was talking about, like to me, that he would go to there a bunch and see shows. Yeah,
dude, you can see. I mean, dude, I remember my wife saw Nirvana there.
Yeah.
I saw Incubus there. I saw Melvin.
Those are definitely all in the CD collection for sure.
Oh yeah, he had Incubus.
Yeah, Incubus for sure. Some Chili Peppers. Some what else, dude? Yeah, Papa Roach.
I don't think that's on the new metal.
No. But like of the new metal stuff. Yeah.
If they got lumped in with new metal.
Well, it's like you can still see them at the same festivals these days. I'm sure
they were at Aftershock
in Sacramento for sure.
Aftershock that came. So this is so this is one of like after I left Sacramento, I feel like it started kind of having more like cooler things going on or something, or like cultural things. Might not be that cool, but like all the mural festivals they have there and stuff, and then like wide open walls or whatever, and then like they have aftershock, they have bands that like I saw Dragon Force at Aces. I don't know who else did I like. Okay, was there anything else or something?
I love it. The lead
I saw Bob Dylan. Wait, what?
The lead guitarist of Dragon Force is like a Twitch streamer now.
Does he really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's no money in being in Dragon Force.
Yeah.
He just lives off the hype of that and shreds all day.
The Guitar Hero 3 residuals are running dry.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be in a band, I think, and make any money, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah. I can definitely vouch for that. Yeah, even in bigger bands, man, it's tough out here. But it's funny because I'm a musician, which also means I'm an Uber driver. So I was like driving people back and forth from Aftershock all day. God, it was crazy. Like there's just so many goofy metalheads. I was like, oh yes, my people.
Dude, I remember seeing System of a Down in like open up for my roommate's band at a place called the Press Club, which closed down.
Oh yeah, the Press Club. Yeah.
I saw System of a Down, and this was like maybe 3 or 4 months before they fucking like totally blew up. It was really crazy. It was insane. But I saw, man, but they used to have, because you know how they have the Aftershock Festival. Back in the day, they used to have these bigger festivals at it would be at like Sac State, the Field or something. Dude, I saw one day, I saw fucking Kid Rock, Megadeth, Limp Bizkit, and like all these System of a Down, Stained.
Yeah.
Dude, it was seriously the word. I don't know.
That's a country festival, dude.
Dude, it was insane. It was completely like music was so unbelievably like bad at that time. It was so bad. It was crazy bad. Like
that was what was popping when we were in elementary school. It was
for real.
Like,
I remember watching Woodstock '99 on TV. As a kid, that's one of my first memories is Woodstock '99 going to shit on TV.
I know. I haven't watched the documentary about it yet because it kind of looks like depressing.
It's super depressing. It's super insane. Like the way everything just got like it's the Fire Island of back then, you know.
Fire Festival
or Fire Festival, Fire Island.
Fire Fest, dude. Hell yeah. No, but like because what was crazy was, after that. Jonathan Davis from Korn was like, I'm mad at Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. Like they made it bad that day. Like they ruined it. It was like they fucking made everybody go crazy. And I was like, man, these guys are beefing now. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. It's like some new metal gossip I heard, dude. So it was
yeah. I remember
two of the hottest food-based bands.
Yeah, I saw Orgy play. Fucking was at the Crest or something. It was kind of cool. Those bands would come through there. I think I saw Primus. I saw Alice Cooper and Pantera and Rob Zombie and fucking. I saw Bob Dylan play. I saw Cher. I saw Neil Diamond. I saw fucking Fleetwood Mac.
Hell yeah,
dude.
All the memories happening. So.
Fuck yeah,
I
man.
saw fucking Smash Mouth.
All right,
bro.
I'm
crushing it right now, dude.
Yeah.
This is
man.
Fuck, dude.
That's truly an insane time for music.
He had so much to
dude. I
so
saw
much to
Smash
see and so
Mouth
much to do.
right after they had their first song, which was a hit. This was before whatever Hey Now You're a Rock Star and shit that. This
But
was
the pre-Shrek era.
Right.
Yeah. I think was it the song goes, might as well be walking on this.
That's for the first album. That's what is it? Astro Lounge, I think.
Astro Lounge,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, brutal.
Classic.
Their
Yeah, but
their early stuff's a little more like it's better. Like
Well, it's just punk.
right.
Yeah,
It's like punk music for snowboarders or something.
Yeah.
You know. And so, but you know, what was funny was when I saw him, it was like because back then, you know, you'd have like a radio station, you know, and so we had like 106.5, quad 106.5, which was like an alternative station, and then we had 98 Rock, which was more like Disturbed, playing you know, shit like that. And then, but 106.5 was more like Everclear and fucking shit like that, you know. Anyway, so they put and they got smashed. So they put on this festival. It was a holiday festival, and I remember my roommate Joey Schlauman said, "I got an extra ticket if you want to come to this thing." And I went there, and I was like, "Dude, this sucks ass. Like, this is the worst thing." Anyways, but it was like Save Ferris.
Oh man,
fucking Smash. You know what I mean? Like this kind of, because this was like at the end of the ska thing, and
the
so
third
it was
wave
like,
is over.
Everybody's going out fighting too. They're like, nope.
and so, but Smash Mouth. But I remember because they were playing like all these fast punk songs, like SoCal punk or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, and then it was like, might as well be walking on the sun, and everybody's like, yeah, the Walking on the Sun song. And I was like, dude, this is funny. Like the one song that's not like their other song. Anyway,
they open up the pit for Walking on the Sun, but then everybody just calms down once they do all the fast joints.
But you know what was really interesting was at that time was that you could see that there was so much bottom feeder record industry shit going on where everything was about having like a hit. Yeah, it was like you just need this hit and then have people like, you know, play it forever. And I think there was a lot of payola back then too, where it was like record labels would pay, you know, whatever. But I remember because you could see a band like kind of strike a little bit of gold or whatever, and then you're like, oh, they're gonna try to do this again. Yeah. And then what happens is I think that they get a producer, and then the producer helps them, and then all of a sudden, like that's all they do is try to do those hits. I remember when that happened to Sugar Ray. Yeah, I remember when I saw, this is the funniest conversation in the world. I'm fucking punishing the shit out of you guys, but anyway.
no, this is great.
Good. I'm loving it.
But I remember like, because you know, I'd watch MTV or like, I don't know, stuff like that, and you could see in that there were certain kinds of bands who were trying to do shit. Yeah. And then I saw Sugar Ray like kind of figure it out. And then they started just doing those songs and being like frost the tips of your hair and like look cute, and then do this song that sucks. And then you're gonna do great, you know? Yeah. Anyways, but it was like
the ultimate one-hit wonder era. Like they were really pushing that shit hard, just like get one and done. And
what's your guilty pleasure song from the era? From out of all, like, what's a Save Ferris song you like? How about that?
Well, Save Ferris, they were like one of those bands that kind of only got popular because they had a cover song that was the crazy thing, was that you just do a cover song and become like a big band off that or whatever. Right. But a guilty pleasure from that time, I guess I don't listen to System of a Down anymore, but I kind of did like them. I liked their first album. Yeah. That first one that had the hand on it. And I didn't really like the stuff after that. But oh God. I mean, I like that Korn. I liked Korn. I liked that Korn record, Follow the Leader.
That's classic. The cover art for that was always super, like, it used to kind of scare me as a kid, where it has like
Todd McFarlane,
yeah, that's the artist for them, or
was it?
Yeah,
for that.
Todd McFarlane from Spawn.
Todd McFarlane did that cover. I didn't even know that, and I love Todd McFarlane.
Oh shit. That's crazy, man.
That's so cool.
But dude, I remember
that makes a lot
when
of
that
sense.
when that record came out, I was like, dude, this shit's hella sick, man. That's fucking. And then because I had a job at the almond factory there in Sacramento, the Blue Diamond Almond Factory, and then they would let me. So I had like a tape player, like a cassette tape player, and I would tape my tapes from my CDs, and then I would put them in my tapes, and then I would listen to that while I was building bins for almonds to go into. And I remember I had I was into the White Zombie record, Rob Zombie, and then I liked Faith No More a lot. I still like them, and I would listen to their record, but I would listen to Korn, Follow the Leader like crazy. I was like, dude, this record fucking rules. I mean, it's weird because it's kind of cringy. It's very cringy. But like when I listen, like I the other day when I was driving around, I was like, I'm just gonna listen to a Korn album that I have never listened to before. And I was still like finding myself thinking like, this is good somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but like I was like, I see why I liked this when I was 19 or 20.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, too, growing up, like I said, I was kind of like a little kid, and then my older brother and my older cousins were kind of teenagers at that time, like late 90s, early 2000s. And that just was around so much growing up. So to me, I like just totally unironically like love it. Like me, I'll slap ball with the ball, just like blast that shit, annoy the neighbors.
Dude, that song is amazing.
That's
Dude.
a freaking
The way that it starts too is just like
get in the pit and try to love someone. Yeah. I know he busts out the Frankenstein, the Edgar Wright, or not Edgar Wright.
Yeah, it sounds like that. It sounds like
it. Right?
What's so funny is that that there's like maybe a band that, I mean, to me, as I don't know, embarrassing as it is, I guess I consider Korn to be one of the more interesting creative bands, like songwriters and stuff, and out of that era. And I feel like there was some really interesting sort of genre bending, proto-industrial, alternative metal type shit that was going on. But then there's like shit like Godsmack, where you're like, this is the worst shit in the world.
Tell that to my dad, dude.
He likes Godsmack?
Dude, my dad was into all that, but it's like, yeah, I remember we had like Korn, and fucking Godsmack, and like Disturbed, and like all those.
How about Static X?
Sounds familiar.
I don't think so. I don't think my dad had Static X.
I like that because I was like, it's kind of like Ministry, but like new
Ministry
metal
is definitely.
I love
yeah.
Ministry.
Yeah,
Ministry's tight. Hey, by the way, we had someone in the chat who asked,
speaking of Faith No More.
Speaking of Faith No More, how'd you get involved with the Faith No More? You did a piece for them?
I did like did I? Oh yeah, I did like a print, like a poster for them or whatever. But I've met Mike Patton a couple times. I got extremely hammered with him one time. It was me and him and Tim Moss, his manager, who's this incredible dude. He's like the tour manager for like Faith No More and Mastodon, Melvins and shit like that. But it was me, Braun, Tim Moss, Braun from the drummer from Mastodon, and Mike Patton, and we just drank insane tequila like all night. It was great until like 4 or 5 in the morning, because I was just like in it. Like I had shit to do the next day, but I was like, I'm just gonna do this and be in this, whatever. And but it was crazy listening to Mike Patton kind of like talk about stuff, and it was kind of cool because like I could just kind of ask him questions about bands and like, do you like this band? And he's like, no, I don't like that. Or like, this was when the Kanye record came out that had no cover. This was like before the like all the Nazi Kanye shit.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God. That's
So
the
it
one.
was like,
That's
he's
the
like-
one thing that's gotten us a strike on the channel. The only thing was when we tried to cover that the day of, and
Oh
they're
my
just like,
God.
everybody
Oh, yeah,
just shut the fuck up about
Yeah,
it.
don't
Like,
talk about it. It's-
all
yeah,
the
he's mentally
ZUDECAST doing
ill.
it. Shut up.
Ill, but like, yeah, but he was like, yeah, I don't really like, it was just kind of cool. He's like, because Ghost was kind of new at that time.
yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't really like it. I like the new Kanye. It's insane. And and he would just talk about being in a band with Dave Lombardo from Slayer and
Yeah.
dealing with, it was just kind of like cool because I was just sort of a fly on the wall. And,
Right.
me and Braun are both kind of like big music nerd type people. And we're kind of like looking at each other like, this is crazy. We're hanging out with Mike Patton. Like, this is insane, And but he's actually legit a famous celebrity musician, you know what I mean? But like we both are kind of can lock into that, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Well, dude, I mean, fucking Braun Daler from Mastodon, like, yeah, if I was hanging out with him, I'd be like, oh my God, dude, like, because he's like one of my absolute favorite metal drummers, like right around the time that it was when Crack the Sky was coming out. Like, that's when I first started getting into Mastodon. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, this dude's singing and playing too. It's like when he started like really taking more vocal role, but like, dude, because I mean, I play guitar mainly, but like I was playing hella drums back then too, and this was like in like 8th, 9th grade or whatever. And like, yeah, I would just put on like that whole like Mastodon album and try and just like copy his fills, all those like nasty like single stroke rolls. It's like, yeah, dude's fucking twisted with it.
I won't forget too when we went and saw them and we were like, oh man, we were moshing the whole time and like, all right, let's go get some water real quick. And then you just heard the fucking opening fill from Iron Tusk, and we literally just like
ran back into the
dive bombed back into the pit.
Yeah.
That was on the Once More Around the Sun tour too, which I think is one of your most iconic pieces, man. That thing is absolutely glorious.
Thanks. Yeah, I was stoked to do that. I was like, couldn't believe it. Braun is his like, it's crazy how skilled of a person he is. He's just like really pushes it, he really is dedicated to his art in a way that's very admirable and incredible. And I think Braun is sort of the why Mastodon is, I don't know, continued to have the focus, and that's just my own personal bias, but that's from knowing him and just feeling like, I don't know, like he's sort of leading the chart, like his energy he's putting out, and like now he's singing and playing the songs and like writing music, and like he's just like a kind of like a expansive person in a way, and I don't know, it's like, and he's really responsible for me. He gave me the opportunity to make the music video, to do the record cover, and to do a bunch of stuff, and it affected my life, not just by being associated with Mastodon, which really like is a gift for me, but that he was like, hey, you want to make a music video? You should try it. Like, so like just the being encouraged to try something and grow as a person is like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, just to be like, oh, you're going to let me like make a whole world and get weird, and like, you're going to trust me to do it and not fuck it up. That's insane. So yeah, I mean, having somebody believe in you is, I think maybe one of the coolest things you could do for somebody.
That's awesome, man.
That's
So that was
awesome,
like
man.
the first music video that you worked on. So it's like having never worked on a music video before.
Yeah, that was it.
That's crazy, man.
That was the Asleep in the Deep one. Is that what it was? Or
Yeah.
We just watched that the other night. We watched a bunch of stuff. We also watched was it Budfoot the other night?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that produced by Hey Beautiful Jerk as well too? Is that who you did that with, or
No, but it looks good as fuck, right? But like, they Hey Beautiful Jerk, anything they touch is like looks the best. It's the best. So, but no, you know who I made that with? Media Team Go, and we filmed it in Atlanta with the same people that we made the Mastodon music video with.
Nice.
So a lot of the people that were filming it, editing it, doing it, and all this effects and all this stuff. So yeah, it's cool. I want to do more acting maybe, but it's I don't know. I'm finding that that I get tired more after socializing a lot now for some reason. So maybe I wouldn't be the best. Like maybe I would show up and have energy for like half the day. And then the next half of the day, I'd be like, when's this going to be over?
Well, that's like with
cameo
actors.
roles, you gotta get the cameo roles.
Because it seems like with actors, they're always just in their trailer and shit. Like they come out for like 5 minutes at a time. They're like, all right, time to act. And then they're like, all right, peace out, guys.
Yeah.
Like that's
also memorizing a script sucks ass.
Yeah.
I told him during Budfoot, I was like, just feed me the lines, but right before I'm supposed to say them.
Right.
But it was fun. It wasn't that bad. Memorizing like little chunks. That was like, dude, that was such a dream job for me because I got to contribute however I wanted to do stuff. And like, I felt like it was the people that were working on Budfoot were like really excited about me participating and having ideas and helping and stuff. And like, that's just the best feeling ever, instead of people being like, no, do it like this.
Yeah. I was gonna ask too the story of that, where it's like left ambiguous. It's like, is it the fumes making you trip or not? Is that a real thing that's happened to you? Have you ever gotten like totally gassed out by the fumes while you're like working with paint or with like models or anything like that?
Yep. With using like this special paint that's really toxic for vinyl toys. That's why I don't really like to paint them anymore, because it's sort of like it's crazy ass chemicals. You shouldn't breathe that stuff in, or else brain's gonna turn into a fucking jello mold.
The,
but like
vinyl chloride type shit.
Yeah, but it kind of was like somewhat the story of a lot of toy guys where they're doing a lot of chemical shit. Their brains get fried. They're all fried.
That's crazy, man. Well, like lead paint and stuff, like and leaded gasoline. That's like something we were talking about a few episodes back too, where it's like, damn, a whole generation, like in like the 70s, it's like so much lead paint and so much leaded gas. It's like they did some study where it's like people like from, I don't even know what year it was. It was like 1960 something to 80 something. There was like a average IQ drop of like 20 odd points or whatever. And they're like, I think it was all the lead, dude. But it's like that'll do it to you, man. The fumes, bro.
Well, during Roman times, the
lead pipes,
the water, it was like lead pipes, and like a lot of the plates and things they were eating off of was lead and stuff. That's why humans, man, we're susceptible to the chemicals that we just willingly put into ourselves. It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's check some chats real quick too, because there's been quite a few since we've
got me up.
Yeah, so let's go up a little bit, or you can't even
we got it on
oh yeah. We got Be Easy Will tuning in. Shout out to you. Thank you so much.
Good to see you again.
Looking forward to more stop motion and 2D animation that goes more stronger on the details than the rotund style. Is that what this is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back
more
to
pointy, less squishy.
I feel you. Like more like I guess
rotund, huh?
I don't know.
If someone ever calls anyone overweight, just be like, I just have a rotund style, dude. You just don't get my style.
My style rotund.
Yeah.
The squiggly movement style, drawn like home movies, or what's the name of that other show? Came around the same time as Dilbert. It's kind of like where it's like weird, like rubber arms, but like.
Does somebody want me to do that more?
I don't know. This is from I guess as we were going along.
I think people are feeling your sentiment on that with the crazy camera angles.
Oh, you want to see me do rubber arms?
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see here. You also acted in the Connoisseur music video. Is that true?
Yes,
Ooh.
I was killed at the end. I was killed. I'm in a movie coming out soon called Dance Freak.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a detective angel in that film.
Okay.
Yeah, so look out for that.
Dance
Man.
freak.
That sounds.
Oh
wild.
wait, dude, the cat. Hold up, I'm looking at the cast here with Stavros Halkias, bro. Oh shit, you guys know Stavros?
Wait,
from that one song?
Stavros is in Dance Freak?
I don't know. That's what it says. Stars Stavros Halkias.
That's crazy.
That's
Wait,
fucking crazy,
wait.
dude.
This is a horror film.
Oh, okay. I was like, this
I'm
sounds
like-
wrong, dude.
Right.
Oh, this must be a
Dude, that'd
different,
be cool. I
different
love
dance freak.
Stavros.
Yeah.
Stavros rules.
Of Cumtown fame.
Stav- I love Stavi. Stavi,
Shout
baby.
out.
He's he's positive and fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
He
He's
posted a
horny.
lot of very interesting Halloween photos this year. I don't know
Oh,
if you
Lord.
guys saw.
I did not. I'm scared.
He's horny. He's like a horny dude. He's a horny Greek
Yeah.
dude. He's like I
Which is
look
just
like
redundant. Yeah, but
he's like I look like a chef, like one of those like cooks from the 50s or something. At a restaurant, like a gas station, like a road, like a side of the road restaurant, like cook,
Yeah, like a diner in the back.
a line cook or something. But
The Swanee
Um,
diners.
okay, different. Oh, I see. This is the second result on the Indiegogo. Here is the dance freak. It's like a horror.
Stavros.
Ah,
Different dance freak. Sweet. What was I gonna say? Dude, so you got a video game in the works?
Yes, Flesh Haunted Lords.
Flesh
Yeah.
Haunted Lords.
Hell
Dude.
Yeah, it's we're like getting ready to do a launch, like kind of a Kickstarter type thing, I think next year, and get that going. Yeah, it's cool. It's like again, maybe video games before you guys were born, but like Golden Axe.
Dude, I
Yeah,
can
we
definitely
just
talk to
said
you.
Golden Axe, yeah.
No,
He
I
was
was
like,
like,
this
I
looks
can
like-
definitely talk to you more about like '90s video games. I'm like a huge fucking video game dork. More see, because like you were talking about like a lot of like the '80s cartoons, and I was like, damn, I'm not hip to these because I just I just got like the darkest fucking like cartoon was like Brave Little Toaster. Like for me,
Oh,
you know what I
dude,
mean?
you're missing out, man. There's
know,
like
I gotta
old
go
shit
back.
like Vampire Hunter D,
Yeah,
or
dude, I
like
gotta-
Fist of the North Star.
I love
you gotta
Fist of the
get
North
yeah,
Star.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
definitely seen that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I do love the old school He-Man. I watched a lot of He-Man growing up because my older cousins, they were like the '80s kids, and so they had like a lot of Thundercat action figures. I had a lot of the old school He-Man action figures too. There's like
The
hand-me-down-
He-Man action figures were cool. The cartoon was literally just a commercial to sell the toys.
Straight up.
Yes, indeed, and it worked.
But like it was like soon as I guess Ronald Reagan like deregulated certain kinds of advertisement stuff, and then all of a sudden it was like cartoons were just everything was aimed at selling stuff to children, like just like crazy. Like they're just like it's like He-Man, fucking dolls, sugary drinks, freaking cigarettes, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
They're like,
There's
The
the
candy
there's-
cigarettes.
There's the whole thing too about how like the whole ending of Star Wars got changed so that they could just like sell more toys and like make it more lighthearted and less like just to play it safe. Like Return of the Jedi was like totally changed from what it was gonna be.
That's crazy.
do you guys like the new Star Wars type stuff?
Being a Star Wars fan is like being in a super toxic relationship. You know, you're like just maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time, and then you're just let down.
Yeah, I feel like the Star Wars stuff is like I just accept it. Like I know that everything, like anything that gets made in this world that's earnest and comes from a place of care and art and responsibility ultimately becomes commodified. Every movement, every art, every music, everything, right? So I accept that that's what's going on. So I go into it thinking like this is probably going to suck. But then The Mandalorian was just like pretty fun, right? I was like, this is cool. This is fun. I like to watch this with my beautiful little wifey and just see her be happy every time fucking that little toad man comes on the screen. that little baby Yoda toad thing. And then like, so I'm like, this is cool. I like this. But then I feel like everything that's to me is like fandom, the people that like shit or don't like shit. Like I don't even want the discourse online. Like I don't even want to hear people talk about Star Wars anymore. I just want to be like, watch it and be like, yep, that sucked. And then just like,
that's what I'm saying though.
That's
I'm like,
where
if there's a nugget in gold in there, I'm like, I'll take it. If there's something I liked, I'm not a hater. I'm really gonna be like, okay, let's see if it's good. Like I
want to brag a little bit and say that Tippett Studios, the stop motion studio that did a lot of Star Wars stuff, and they're working on a lot of the stuff now. I get to go over there and see the shit that they're doing before it comes out. I don't get to post about it and look cool or nothing, but it is cool to like go over there and be like, this is crazy. Like I went over there the other day and they have this whole set in the green screen room and it's just like creature climbing over this thing. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but,
right.
and it was just and they just showed me and it was like, the movements are so perfect. It's a puppet. It's a stop motion puppet and it's moving and it's so incredible. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful, you know? So I guess in a way it's like having made little films and little weird things and, you know, worked on stuff and I'm working on my stop motion movie and shit. It's like, I guess in a way I kind of see a lot of what goes into movies too. Yeah. In a way, it's like if you're a construction worker and you walk into a building and you look at every little thing and you go, yeah, and you go, yep, that looks good, or that looks like shit, or that's interesting. Why'd they do that? That's weird. Or I like that. I like this decision, you know, whatever. So when I'm watching like TV shows and movies, I'm even like, this dialogue's pretty good, but the delivery sucks, or like I'll be like, oh, this is really bad. Like there's so many things where like even like storytelling stuff where I'm sitting there with my wife and we're watching something and I'm like, they should have cut this whole scene.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and she's like, what? And I'm like, this person told this person something that they already knew. Like they should have just cut this scene out.
Doesn't contribute.
And she's like, she's like, that's so interesting that you could like you're paying attention to the way the story's unfolding in a way where it's like you're seeing it as a script in your mind. And that's what happens to me, man. And sometimes I'm like, I just am watching something because I just want to see like one person's designs that I follow on Instagram come to life. Like there's this artist that I follow on Instagram and I love, and he designed and did the digital sculpting for the creatures in No One Can Save You, a newer film that just came out about these UFO abduction things that are going on. Anyways, there's no dialogue in the whole film, but he designed the creatures, and I was like, this might be cool and this might suck. I don't know. But I'm really fascinated with production.
Yeah.
And I really like to see, like, I don't know, sometimes when I'm watching a show, I just look at the clothes or the
little choices that make up
like little ass things, you know, and it brings me joy to see that, because even if the production, you know, even if the actors are bad or the story's bad or whatever, like I try to recognize the contributions of the people that don't always get acknowledgement, because these people are doing their best on a film that they're not they don't have any creative control over the film, but they're contributing the best way that they know how. And so it's just really interesting, you know.
Do you think that interest in production is why you like expand into so many different mediums too? Because you working with a lot of different people in a lot of different mediums too. Does that play into that at all? Your interest in like seeing how things are done from the ground up? Like, I don't know.
Well, I guess in a way, you know, like my collaborations are all with people that do stuff that I'm not really good at, right? So there are people who are like, hey, I want to do this kind of animation. I want to make this video game. I want to do this puppet thing. I want to make this film. I want to do like whatever. And I just try to like figure out ways of supporting them and like working on it with them and making it happen or whatever. Right. This is not like, say, like a paid gig where I'm being paid to do something. This is like my own personal collaborations and shit, which are to me are more like, let's have fun and see what we can do together and like make it cool. Because if something comes of this, it's going to be built on the intention that we were making something we cared about and that we like. Instead of being like, I want to get seen hella bad. It's like, I just go, you know what? You don't want to build those intentions. Don't serve your creative spirit. What serves your creative spirit is doing your best to try to like build the foundation for something that you can be recognized and encouraged to do, that's more in line with your creative rhythm and like where you want to be as an artist.
Sympathize with that in the sense I've been doing music production for almost 15 years now, and some of the most difficult times I've had writing music is when I'm actually trying to do a thing, and some of the easiest times I've had writing music is when I'm writing a song that's supposed to be fucking stupid and just as a joke between me and the friends. And so I understand that like that channeling, that flow state is sometimes like super hard to tap into if you just try to overstructure things too much. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just have to put yourself in a position of like being entirely creative, like in a playful, fun way or something. And like, I mean, a lot of it is just having a practice where you're like, I'm just doing this for hours on end and I'm going to commit to this time and I'm going to see what I can do. And then it's like, oh, the inspiration is a little bit not popping right now. And you're like, oh, I know I need to go on a walk and like smoke a joint and like go walk around or like hang out with my friends and listen to things and stuff. And then all of a sudden your brain is sort of like collaging sections and pieces of reality to come into something that you're setting the intention of manifesting. Right. So it's like, you're like, oh, I feel really depressed about something. And then maybe you're like, oh, I don't know, like a good way of really expressing it in a way that resonates with me or whatever.
I think I might. This is something that was, I'm sorry to interrupt you, by the way. This was something that was told to me where the typical sort of learning structure is that people are put into like a schooling program and they're taught what to learn X, Y, Z at a schedule. And there's no real like consequence to, doing it or not doing it. Whereas my brain works where if I am trying to accomplish something creatively or artistically, then it takes like sometimes 2 to 3 months of just the idea brewing. And I'm like watching something and pulling something from an experience here and from over here until the like tension builds up. And then one day I'm just like 10 hours in the studio doing a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's kind of like how you feel.
Yeah, you're grabbing all the ingredients so that you could cook.
Yeah.
Let this man cook. So you're like
he just dropped an Exorcist remix, by the way. He just dropped a remix of the Exorcist theme song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
If
you like drum and bass at all, might be in your realm.
I don't know if that's even drum and bass. I don't know. Do you put like Regan's voice on top of it too?
I wish I did, honestly, but I'm doing my
She's
best
like,
not to get
what does she say? She says crazy shit.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Yeah.
She also says some other stuff like, I remember you. Yeah. Like you could put like some stuff like that and like make it insane. Like put some reverb echoes on it. I remember you.
Yeah, we definitely did not have enough time before the deadline to do everything we wanted with it, but we're gonna hit it next year and get that
well,
V2.
We're gonna all remix it together.
So. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna get Skinner on the track.
I was gonna ask. when it comes to like Eli was saying, you're shifting between all these different mediums so much, and it's so inspiring to see you like continually like branching out into new things that you haven't done before. Like you said, with the music video, that was your first time doing that thing, and someone was just like, why don't you try it? So like when it comes to the video game, for example, like are you actually like getting in there with like doing like sprite editing, or is it just like you kind of have the concept arts and then they kind of convert it into video game form?
I'm kind of like, when it comes to the video game thing, is mostly like, I went to Portland. There was a music video being made for this band called Red Fang.
Oh yeah.
And so I did some art for that. I gave them some art, and then it got turned into like, you know, digital assets for a video game / music video for Red Fang. And it was all crazy, right? So I went up there for the release. It was a big thing. It was all crazy. It was with Wyden Kennedy, this big fucking advertisement agency up there. Like, they do Nike shit. They're crazy. Anyways, so but they're in Portland, and Red Fang is like a very beloved Portland band. So one of the guys that works at Wyden Kennedy like was making this video, approached me about it. I said yes. I said I'm gonna come up. I got insanely hammered right at this show, and I met a guy named Andy, and he's from Chicago, and he came out. Well, he did all the pixel art. And so we after the show, I was like, dude, we should fucking make some crazy ass intro to a fake game that rules, and like make it, you know, whatever. And anyway, so he remembered that, and he contacted me. I don't know. I kind of did, but I was like, well, no, because I always say crazy shit, and I go, man, I wonder if anybody will remember, you know. So then we started working on this game where I said, all right, here's the idea. It's this medieval village. There's all these peasants, and they hate their life, and they're ruled over by this royal family, this scumbag, inbred fucking occultists. Yeah. They're scumbags. This is medieval shit. And they what they do is that because they're greedy and they want power, they use the occult magic to open up a portal. Anyways, all this demonic energy comes out through the portal, and then transforms the royal people into these different demons and creatures and shit. And it starts to fuck with the whole village, the demon energy. Well, a couple of the peasants transform also, but they transform in these goblin type weird mutant motherfuckers, right? Well, they're the heroes. So you get to choose one of the three. And so you have to take back the castle and take over, you know, save the village, take over the castle, destroy the evil inbred demon royalty, and then return the kingdom to all peasants. And then it's a socialist utopia. Anyway, so I do the art, I design stuff. Andy Gregg he makes all the sprites, he designs all the character, or he takes my designs and then morphs them into the video game, like 32-bit or 16-bit or whatever. And then, you know, it's like I'm kind of like a design art director guy. He's like, here's my characters or creatures. But sometimes, well, he's an artist too. So if he wants to, you know, change aspects of the characters, I just say go for it, dude. Like, just make it look cool. That's like my only rule. Like, make it look cool. I don't care. I don't need to control this shit, especially if he's doing all this hard work, you know. So we got a programmer, and we got to find or a developer, and then we got to find some other people to help us and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be super.
Dude, it looks sick
awesome
just from
already.
the screenshots.
Here, Josh, pull it up.
Well, yeah, we got the little.
Just a little bit from your Instagram here.
Yeah,
but, dude, this looks so awesome. These are like type of games I really love. I had like a Sega Genesis growing up, and a Super Nintendo and all that old school stuff.
That's what the vibe is.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's especially very Sega Genesis because, like, just talking about the art, like the way that the color palette is sort of limited, and it has like that checkerboarding, dithering kind of thing is like so reminiscent of Sega Genesis too. Is instead of like Super Nintendo, it had kind of like the more like soft, like blended colors. Like Genesis always had just like those gnarly, like it was only like, I don't even know, like whatever, like 50 or 100 colors or whatever, compared to these days where you got millions of colors. And it's so crazy to see, because with all these like games like Shovel Knight or like whatever, where it's like really trying to like emulate that retro style, but it's weird because you're making it on like a modern engine, and it's, you know, you're using modern tech, but then you still have to kind of like play by the rules. It's like, oh, well, on the Sega Genesis, there would only be this many colors, and the sprites could only be that big, and, you know, there could only be like X amount of things going on the screen, and it's like, it looks like it's very like rooted in that like kind of traditional style. But it's so cool when video games or like just different mediums have that style that becomes so iconic because of the limitations, almost, right? Where you're like,
well, it's like working within the limitations, right? Like, you know, there's so many things that Andy has done with the sprites and the way they move and the way things change and move and all this stuff, that like he like, it's almost like there are no limitations for him. It's like he's totally commands it. It's fucking badass. So I don't know, man. It's like spooky haunted shit. You know, that's that's my jam. That's what I like to do.
You do it well, man. For real.
Yeah, I just got to say, from like a separate angle, I got into graphics programming for a short amount of time, trying to learn OpenGL. So I was really like trying to shoot for getting a 3D game to sort of emulate this style. So I just got to say how much I appreciate it. These guys know how much I'm like playing retro themed games, even if they're not necessarily quite like this.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. Well, there's a new, like that new Ninja Turtles side scrolling beat 'em up. Like, so we're like, okay, this is, or the new Toxic Avenger one that came out or whatever, but we want to make one that's really like in that, I don't know, like Neo Geo fucking Sega Genesis, but like
Streets of Rage kind of vibe.
Oh, dude, Streets of Rage is the best, dude. Just that music. The music is iconic. The sound of the when the guy's race car or his car pulls up and then peels out, that sound, it goes, it like takes off.
Genesis really did have like really awesome sound design. I remember that, and I mean, fuck, dude, just like the Sonic theme song.
That was my first game system. Yeah. It's crazy because like it's crazy because like I love like all that like weird like Japanese jazz fusion shit and like weird like 70s prog metal jazz fusion shit. Like all of that is like so tied into video games, where you hear all that stuff from the 90s and you're like, dude, these guys were like, they're on some shit, dude. Like all the original, like the old school, like Mega Man soundtracks and like Castlevania and like all that, like Castlevania shit went so fucking crazy because it's like a totally different way of writing music, where it's like you're writing something that has to be infinitely repeatable to the point where like, but it helps you not get too pissed off. Like you're like, all right, one more time. You're like, da, 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 you know, like you're just like, all right, Dracula, this time you're gonna fucking get like.
Who was it that said like a good groove only gets better the longer you listen to it?
That sounds like some Bootsy Collins type of shit to say, but
well, you know that Sega that Sonic the Hedgehog song, the very first one is insane. It's so crazy, but like, you know, the soundtrack to Castlevania 3, I really loved that game, and it was like kind of spooky. You know, what's kind of weird is like a lot of that music is very, it's like the nature of the way it comes out, where it's like, because it's all chip tune stuff, right? So it's like, it's very, there's no like, the only personality is in the melody. Yeah. So like the texture of the music is very empty, right? It's like beep 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 beep. You know what? It's
literally
like
just sine waves and square waves. Like there's not samples or whatever. It's just all beeps and boops, and you have to like Yeah, it's crazy. Like they're on some like nuts, like classical Baroque style shit where it's like, oh shit, this is like a fugue right now.
Yeah, there was like a fugue in a lot of ways. Like they would take those kinds of arrangements and then integrate them. But like the emptiness of I felt like I had a pretty empty childhood. And so like emotionally, I was very distant and stuff. So like that music was the perfect soundtrack to, just hours of like being alone, playing Nintendo, listening to the same fucking song over and over again, just like wishing my life was different.
This could be a good time to mention Anamanaguchi if you haven't heard of them.
Oh yeah, it's a great like chiptune kind of band.
Yeah, they do slightly more like hi-fi. It's not like 100% true to the era, but
they did the soundtrack to the Scott Pilgrim game that was also like a beat 'em up. So the Scott Pilgrim game was like it was like same kind of thing though, where it was like a little more hi-fi, but it was meant to look like an old school game. It looks a lot like the comic book actually, so that was cool. Yeah,
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
That was he got canceled. His girlfriend was too young or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, knives.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy if you think about that, like that whole thing where it was like, well, you know what? These dudes that write stories for comics, like sometimes you're just like they kind of like they get some fantasy stuff out and they're like,
a little
that's why
yeah,
like all of a sudden when you're like reading something, you're like, I think this motherfucker's a lonely, horny nerd or something.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like because his comics are about like the dude, the nerd guy who like gets chicks.
Yeah, I'll show these jocks.
Or it's like Ren and
I'll
Stimpy
show
too.
them.
It's like the fool from Ren and Stimpy was like a huge creep. It's like surprise.
Oh yeah, well that's like you're never like this is the thing I realized is animation is full of like creepy motherfuckers. Like it just is. But you can't really like this is what happens is we see nerds. I think traditionally we've seen nerds as morally like they're never like the bad guy in a movie or a show or in life or whatever. Well, I think that's because they haven't gotten power yet.
Right.
And then because once a nerd gets power, they become crazy. They become insane because they've been shit on their whole life that all of a sudden they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
think
I
that
mean?
is what's happening with a lot. I mean, a lot of the tech bros and shit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, it's like the nerds have taken control, man.
Oh yeah, no, I listened to a Behind the Bastards podcast about Bill Gates. It was like hilarious. Like he's like he's insane, dude. But like he comes off as like a nice guy with a sweater on TV.
It's what the like Mr. Rogers phenomena or whatever.
But like you can't give nerds power, dude. They don't know what to do with it. It's like you're telling me like my status is now gonna get me acceptance, and so it's just like they can't get enough. It's like go easy on it, bud. Go easy. Just relax. They're good, and they're like DMing, young.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
This is what I feel like is so good is that like I never really achieved any kind of like level of I don't know, like notoriety or anything at a young age, so it's like I couldn't ruin anything, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the nerd that shouldn't get power either. It's like I mean I'm not saying I would be like DMing kids or whatever, but it's just like but the thing is that like you're just like, oh yeah, cool, like things are going hella good or whatever. It's like I prefer the long arc of like success in life, where it's like because what happens if you get super famous and successful off of something and then everybody's like, all right, seen it, next, heard it, next, like what I mean, and then like your whole life is about like kind of like being in the shadow of those achievements or something. I don't know, but
well, it's like if you never hit the certain milestones like growing up, like that's just like I guess that's like a typical like nerd thing where it's like, oh, you never like had your first kiss or your first, you never had a car, you never like had a cool job or whatever, like a hot girlfriend or whatever. And then like in your 20s or 30s, you become like hot shit. Then you're like, but you're like still stuck in like the past sort of thing.
Well,
then you're like
unhealed, like trying to fill the void of what, is really bugging you or your trauma or whatever with like, indulgence with newfound power, that new money activities, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
New money activities.
Yeah.
What is that? What are those?
I don't know. You know what they say when they're like, oh, it's like old money is like, people like whose like families have had money for generations and stuff. And then new money,
I know what new money is, but I don't know what a new money activity. You know what a new money activity is? Buying a motorcycle, never having ridden a motorcycle ever, and then just crash into a tree and then just walk away.
Yeah, there you
go.
I don't know if my brother's watching this. I haven't done so much this show, but my brother No Break 6 just did exactly that, and it was not a 600. It was smaller, so it's like, oh my goodness, my brother. But yeah, that shit happens. That's that story for sure.
See, I would just crash like one of those scooters,
like the Bangladesh scooters, bro, the little tiny.
One of those, with those ones you can rent for, whatever. I just put my card in there and just crash it. Be like later, but like, no, but
walk away while it explodes. You feel me? Like.
Yes, you must.
Yeah,
you gotta like, but no, man. New money activities. Let's see. Buying a fancy car. Buying some like any kind of like physical material object thing. I mean, that's the thing is like I was thinking about it. Like if I know this is insane, but I was washing dishes and I was thinking about if I was a basketball player, like. How would I spend my money or whatever? And I was like, I would probably just try to get as many, endorsements or something, but I would just like take all my money and just put it in investments or something, because I don't want to buy anything like, it's like you see them like, they just buy big ass houses and all this stuff. And then it's like, if you get hurt or something, you don't have any money anymore. You just have like a car that nobody wants to buy.
Yeah.
And like a beat up ass house that you've been raging.
You got a Bugatti that smells like fucking Black and Milds.
Hell yeah. I like that. Yeah. With cigarette holes in the seats and shit. Fuck yeah. But but I think. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that's what when you were saying too. That's why you have to continue to like push yourself in what you're doing. It's kind of funny because I see Shaq now. He's been getting all into like making music and DJing again and playing festivals and stuff. And it's like, what do you do when you like can buy anything already? It's like, well, you go do whatever you actually want to do.
Dude,
right?
Shaq has been a rapper, musician guy since I was in junior high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, he was doing mixing for a long time.
I was in high school. Like, dude, he had an album called Shaq Diesel.
Yeah.
Like,
now he's like
he
DJ
was like
Diesel. Yeah,
he's DJ.
He was rapping with this other rap group called Foo Schnickens. You don't know about Foo Schnickens?
I don't think
dude, you gotta get into it, man. He's fucking killing it back then, dude.
I already love it.
Yeah, he had a song that was like a sad song about how his mom raised him, but he was sad because his dad left, but he had a sad song called My Biological Didn't Want Me.
Oh, damn.
And it was
So then he had to become Shaq. That's crazy.
Well, I remember though, because I remember like my friends like had CDs, it was like he had parents that would like let him like give him money to buy CDs and video games and shit. And so I'd go over there and I'd be like, oh, what are these new CDs? Like, oh, what's this record? What's that? Or what's CD? Like whatever. And I remember because I was so interested in like what was going on outside of my small stupid town that I would read everything, the liner notes, like who did they thank? Like who did Shaq thank?
Yeah.
in his shit. Like, what is all this stuff, you know? And I remember I was all, my biological didn't want me, and I was all, that's hella sad for Shaq, dude. That's sad. Because I guess his dad did come back once he found out that
Of
Shaq,
course.
like, and then he's like, I need some money.
Yeah, I bet you did.
You know, and his dad's like, and Shaq's like, nah, but I'm gonna write a song about you, bro.
Brought the diss track out, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, coming out with a rap album that's just diss tracks of your family is amazing, dude. You gotta do
That's pretty wild, yeah.
the Thanksgiving mix. The Thanksgiving. Hey, I got a CD for you, motherfuckers.
I can
Just
imagine
crank
these
it.
days you just drop it in the Facebook like family group chat right on release day.
Yeah, dude. But dude, like just like that would be cool to do a song that kind of roasts. Like if you have like a family member that posts a picture where they look weird or something, you just do like just roast their photo hella crazy. Like it's like a short 30-second little burner real quick. Just just put it there, dude. I don't know. That's too psycho. It's funny in theory.
Oh no, I wrote this for a diss track for his birthday one year. So yeah, that was classic. He didn't like that.
I appreciated the craftsmanship.
Hey, let's check on some chats real quick too. They got got a lot of chats. This is the most chats we've gotten in a long time, actually. So
sorry, guys.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I wonder if I just feel like we're neglecting them. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
guys.
let's see. What
Yeah,
we
we can't neglect them.
Shout
It's
out to
a great
everybody in the
conversation
chats.
though. So
Yeah,
Appreciate
no, I'm
y'all so
loving it,
much.
bro. But let's see what we got. Anybody saying anything interesting?
yeah. So someone was asking if you have any latex masks up in the works by any chance. I think you got some fans in that regard.
Oh, I don't have any new ones really. I think maybe that would be cool to do another one with rock bottom novelties. That's the guy. But yeah, we did like six or seven masks and then like a little hand puppet, monster puppet that I did. Raleigh, the host of Skin Crawl magazine.
Yeah, I got the Skin Crawl shirt right here too, bro. Fucking
that's good, buddy. I like it.
Hell
What's up with that? You got a medallion on? What is that? Let me see your medallion.
I got this one is it's Douglas the Nugless. It's like a nug, you feel me? Like a weed nug.
Okay.
And then our other roommate actually gave it to me like a while back, and because he won it in a contest because he was a bud tender, and so he gave it to me, and I was a bud tender too.
It's a little weed nugget. Is it dipped in dirt or something? What is it dipped in?
It's like fake weed. It's not really a real nug, but it looks super.
It looks smokable.
Like, I definitely had to like stop picking at it because I was like picking at it for fun, and it started to fall apart. I'm like, fuck. And then this one is
smoke it.
I would if I could, but it's
bring out the blowtorch for that one.
Yep, definitely.
Wouldn't be the first time we put something in a bong that doesn't belong.
Talking about the fumes, you know what I'm saying?
And then this one is Shiva doing the Nataraja, the cosmic dance of destruction and rebirth.
Wow, cool.
So I studied like Eastern mythology and Asian art in college. Or that's one of the few things. I was a history major, and so mostly U.S. history and world history was what I went to school for at Sac State, and then but I took some Renaissance art history and then some East Asian and South Asian, so like India, Japan, China, some of the different stuff. It was like art and mythology combined, and I fell in love with Hindu mythology. You have some Hindu mythology behind you, I see too.
I sure do. Look at this.
Oh,
who's that?
Hanuman? Is that Hanuman or no? Nah,
Well,
that's
yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he's cool.
I think that's Hanuman because he's got like the monkey snout.
Dang, you remember the Animorphs? Kind of getting Animorphs.
Yeah, dude, Animorphs.
Where it's like transforming over a couple different faces there.
Yeah.
But, hell yeah.
But I love that stuff. I actually drew a piece of Shiva doing the Nataraja one time too, the art piece. And yeah.
You know what I like is Indra's net.
Yeah,
you know that?
Like the different heavens, right? Like, and like that
was,
well,
that was the net. The cool thing is the net is like the whole, I guess connecting the whole universe.
Full screen.
And at every intersection where the net meets is like some kind of jewel that reflects everything else. So it's like a constant and continuous connected reflection of everything. And that it's sort of like symbolic or something of how we are all actually connected, and that everything is a reflection of a feeling of ourselves, you know, like the way we see the world is the way that we see ourselves. The way that we feel about the world is the way we feel about ourselves. Like it's kind of like that, like the continuous reflective thing.
There's a lot of overlap with like, you know, Buddhist mythology and Hindu mythology too, where it's all about like cycles and things end and they come up the same. And I don't know, I just like noticed so many like weird instances in my life where it's like stuff would happen in patterns and stuff too. So when I started learning about that, I was just like, damn, that shit's real. I don't know, just really resonated with me. I was like, I've been into mythology my whole life though. Yeah, seasons, the cycles, but like more so just like shit in your life would come back around in weird ways and stuff too. But
like a synchronicity type of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. And we got questions.
We got a couple more chats. I don't know if this would apply. I don't know if this would apply to you because I think I saw on another interview that you did that you said you've done like 12 steps and all that stuff. So I don't know if this applies to you at this point, but if you could pick a celebrity to get shit faced with, who would that be, alive or dead?
I don't, dude. Let's see. Not Bill Cosby. That's for sure. I don't know. Let's see.
You just got to get him before he gets you.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Bill Murray. Let's say Bill Murray.
Okay, the better Bill. Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah,
that would be sweet.
That's right, buddy.
And then another question, or is what mythological creatures or beings do you feel you want to draw next that haven't been done?
Oh God, there's a lot of crazy Greek monsters and titans and stuff that I would really love to do some of those, but like I don't know, there's like it's sort of fun to just do endless versions of the classics like manticores and chimeras and
the chimera you
like
did
that.
Recently was fucking awesome too.
Thanks, buddy. But like, you know, I think the Greek titans that I'm forgetting their names, but like
Hecatoncheires, like the 1,000-armed giants, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. Hecatoncheires or something like that. Yeah, that's
yeah.
That one's that one's great. Let's try that one. But you know who's done basically compiled illustrations and descriptions of like every single monster is this amazing artist named Michael Bukowski. And he's done all these monsters. So it's like if I ever needed to remember a monster, I could just like look at one of his books or whatever. He's awesome. Yeah. Give me some more questions.
Just like a fantasy bestiary kind
of. Let's see. I think we got one more. What school of magic would you choose as a wizard?
Ooh.
Oh, school, huh? I feel like it's dangerous to like be a student at a wizard school because like wizards are like if it was like a not like a cute little baby school like the Harry Potter school, but if it was like a real wizard school, it would feel like everybody's sort of studying you to make sure that you can't defeat them in the future.
Right. Yeah, wizard schools in America be a little different, dude. They could pull the fire alarms a lot over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know what school. I don't know. Whatever.
I think it just mean like what, like power, or like what.
Yeah. What are you focusing on? What's your
talking like pyromancy? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good. Like, what's the focus of the magic? I don't know. I don't know if I'd get into necromancy because it's way too heavy on my conscience. I think that like fire could be cool, or like lightning and weather could be cool. I think maybe magic that has a lot to do with restoring balance to nature or something. That would be cool. Like something to be like, like Radagast the Brown from Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
was
like
like
a druid kind of
like a friend. Yeah, like a druid type helper type
like
person. But, Gandalf's cool, and I like him because he travels a lot, but I just want to eat porridge in my house
I
with
feel
my
like that's
squirrel.
crazy. That says a lot in subtle ways, because I always used to play the Holy Trinity games where you have tank, DPS, and tank, and I would always play DPS. I'm like, I gotta fuck shit up. And then one day I switched to playing heals, and I was like, there's just something about this that clicks, man. Like being
That's
the one
cool.
that everybody relies on to just send out the heals. Yeah,
It's true.
That's awesome. Yeah, if that's your spiritual role that's where you fit, or maybe you just matured a little bit.
That's right.
So maybe
Well,
so.
because like everybody thinks fire, like they're like, well, I gotta be able to shoot fire, but it's like you could just do that with like weaponry. You know what I mean? Like if you're in modern day, you know what I'm saying? You got a flint,
Firearms.
you got a yeah.
What if you literally just had firearms though? Like,
I mean, yeah.
like plasma arms, bro. Wouldn't
Hell
that be
yeah.
sick?
That would be cool. Your arms are all fire.
You just could never hug anybody for the rest of your life.
Oh, it'd be
Boys,
like a curse.
I
It's a
think we're
lonely
hitting about the
existence.
2-hour mark here, dude. It absolutely flew by.
Absolutely flew by.
Is there anything we still wanted to hit? Or no, besides our slight technical difficulties. Thank you everyone for
that's
bearing with us.
Sheesh, let me see if those oh, I just wanted to ask you real quick too, like you write the Skin Crawl is your comic, and you have the podcast coming out too, which was super cool. I thought it was really cool how the podcast like expanded on the comic stories. You write the stories yourself for these, right? Do you write and script it yourself?
Yes, and then for some of the stories, I have my friend Cody Goodfellow. He helped me on in issue 2. He helped me with the adapt the 7 Geishas story from Clark Ashton Smith, and then he helped me script. He writes the script to the story that I wrote for what's that one? I can't remember it right now. It's the war one, the anti-war fable. It's anyways, so that one, but then like I write all the other stuff, and I write all the scripts myself and everything, but like I think sometimes I don't feel as confident to write my scripts and stuff because I'm not like a super good, I don't feel like a super accomplished writer person, but I'm feeling like I'm getting better and better and better. So like the stories in the future are gonna have more of my focus and my storytelling that I want to do. Okay, the story's called Game of the Gods. That's the one. So Cody helped me script that one. Anyway, so like, more in the vibe of like what I'm trying to express and stuff. Because, as amazing as a writer as Cody is, I feel like I'm trying to challenge myself to get better at writing so that I don't create a crutch where I'm like, well, I know it's okay, but I'm gonna have this other guy make it good,
Right.
So I'm like, I want to get better for myself, like just for my own. I want to develop that part of myself more. So
that's definitely where I'm at with like I've been trying to make a comic book too since about like 2016ish or 17ish, and that's where I'm at too with like the scripting. I want to figure out how everything looks like page to page, panel to panel, text box to text box, and it's just like kind of a weird thing to kind of try to all kind of pull all these ideas together, and all these different concepts, and
it's awkward as hell to deal with.
Yeah,
it's very strange. It's like it looks easy and it is weirdly difficult. It is very difficult. Like, anyway, you don't realize how hard it is until you start doing it, and you're like, damn, dude, I thought this was just gonna be some fucking just
Right.
it's like easy.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta say though, it's just really dope to see that even though you're so accomplished in having done the art for so long, it doesn't bother you so much, kind of like going back to the beginning, or I don't know necessarily if it's quite the beginning, but like running it back on being a writer and like putting things through their proper paces. Yeah. So
Right. Well, that's sort of I think I was impatient for a lot of my life, and I realized that being impatient is like robbing myself of the experience of getting to know myself through learning again and again and again. So it's like, yeah, I don't know how to write, and it's like, well, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to like spend time, and I'm going to find out what is it really like, how is this connected to me and my feelings, and like, what am I trying to convey really? And then it's like the more I kind of understand myself, the more I understand the angles at which I think that like humans, I don't know, exist, and like storylines, like how do stories come across? And sometimes I'm just straight up like, how do I wish I would have been talked to by an adult when I was young? And, or like how if I was in a position to be responsible for like a kid trying to get them through a forest, like how would I act? It's so it's really like actually more of an adventure and like a journey of just like, I don't know, thinking about what would this be like? What would this person be like? What's this? Because the thing is that it's intimidating until you do it and you realize it's fun.
Right.
Like making a character, like what's this character? What's like how like what are their emotional wounds? What are the things they hate? What are the things that about themselves that they neglect? Like where did they come from? Who's still left? Who still talks to them? Who hates them? Like why? And then you just after a while, like all of a sudden you have like a full on character, and you're like, this is crazy. This being exists now.
yeah.
And so it's really fun.
Definitely having a relationship to your creations is something that I think a lot of artists like and writers too definitely not deal with, but like that's an important thing to form. I feel like the relationship with your own creations, because that's kind of how I feel like with some of my characters that I've made too. And I don't know, you just feel like
it's like the exploration or at least allowing yourself to re-explore the inner artist child when you're like 9 years old and just kind of learning and intaking everything for the first time, and not trying to throw every presupposition on it or reason why you shouldn't do it or something, what I mean?
Because being an artist will make you do so many things that you never thought of doing. Where I was like with me with music and stuff, I'm like, okay, there's like actually just playing guitar or whatever, and it's like, okay, but it's like, oh well, maybe I should do like backup vocals on these tunes too, or it's like, you start getting out more, and you're like, oh shit, what about wardrobe? What you're like, we gotta have. It's like when it's like you get up on stage and everybody's got like the fits and they all fucking match, and like that's a whole thing that you don't even think about, and then you're like, but I gotta be moving around too. You gotta be like dancing and doing all this type of different shit. Have like choreographed things. Then it's like you gotta be able to do like video editing and like social media promotion and all these different things. And it's like, to be an artist, you have to be like a dozen different things. And that's what I respect so much about what you've been doing, where it's like just going after like all these different types of media and art and just being like, just kind of tackling them head on, be like, all right, never done this before. Let's fucking get into this, let's fuck around on Blender. Let's go on let's do all these different mediums, get the paint fumes going, get the ink going. It's like, it's crazy, man. Yeah. It's very inspiring.
Well, thanks. That's sweet to say, but I feel like when you say like, yeah, like I'm in my band, but now I got to think about the outfits, and then I got to do this and do this. See, to me, like those are all new ways to explore shit, and it's like you could make it. I don't know. For me, it's like everything. I feel like I don't want to leave any stone left unturned. Like I want to know what's under there. Like what's going on? What is all this shit? How do I feel about this? Do I like this? Do I not like this? Am I developing like another weird musical character? What is this character? How is this character different from me? Like what's the outfit that they wear? Like whatever. And then all of a sudden you're doing some fucking like weird,
Guar.
like a weird fake character, or like dude, Garth Brooks did that.
Right.
Did you know that? You know Garth Brooks did like a whole weird, like different persona in a whole album and shit. And like, I was so impressed. I was like, this is really interesting and super. He went all the way with it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I forget the name of it. That's so funny, dude. Where it's like, Tom Segura's got that whole shit about, he's like, where are the bodies, Garth, or whatever. Like it's like a running beef between Tom Segura and Garth Brooks. Like,
what was the guy's name? His name was like something Elliott, or like,
I know what you're talking about.
Chris Gaines. It was Chris Gaines.
Right. Where it's just a whole separate person. It's so crazy, man. Where it's just like the amount of different lives you lead all in one like experience. It's crazy.
Yeah, but like he went for it, and that was a part of himself that I think that he wanted to know about. And because he's just this kind of like, wholesome, kind of goofy, country guy, and he wanted to be like a cool, serious alt rock dude. Like, you know what I mean? It was like he kind of gave himself that experience, which is really fascinating. And I don't, and I kind of wish I could do that too in a lot of ways, like, contrive your own reality based on who you're going to be. Like Prince did that to a great effect. David Bowie, well, David Bowie did it too, for sure. Like all these personas and characters and parts of themselves that they want to try out,
Shit, man. Miles Davis too. He would just have a whole new band like every few years or whatever, and just totally reinvent the sound. It's crazy, man. You gotta reinvent yourself constantly. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm too busy trying to do my. I guess I'm reinventing through projects or something because I'm too lazy. Like it's hard enough for me to like go buy new pants.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's like
oh man, I feel you.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess we did it, huh, guys?
We did it, guys.
Dude,
wow,
we're definitely at the finish line, and
yes, indeed, dude, Skinner,
been wonderful.
It's been fucking rad, bro. Holy fuck! Thank you so much for giving us your time, dealing with the tech issues. It means a lot.
It was my pleasure, boys. Anything for my Sacto bros.
Hell yeah, dude.
Appreciate that a ton,
warms me heart.
Yes, indeed.
Before we do the outro, I just wanted to point out that if you're interested in his website or his art, those are both linked in the description below. And if you like what we do here, go ahead and check out the coffee and maybe buy us a coffee because my cup is empty.
And like, comment, and subscribe.
No coffee in there. There should be coffee, but there's no coffee.
Yeah, if this was your first ZUDECAST, please make sure you leave a little comment. Tell us how much you enjoyed it. Or if you hated it or whatever. Let us know. Start beef in the comments. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Thank you again so much, Skinner. We're going to let you go now.
Okay. Have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Oh.